to You by Puffin.
Dick King-Smith Stories for 5-Year-Olds by Dick King-Smith, read by Andrew Horton. Henry Pond the Poet. Chapter 1. Pride of the Toads. Henry Pond was a poet. All the other toads in the neighborhood were very proud of this fact. When they spoke of him, they never referred to him as just Henry Pond, much less plain old Henry. They always called him Henry Pond, the poet. Toads take their family names from their places of birth, the water in which they hatched from spawn to tadpole. River is a common surname for toads, as are lake and pool. There are a few families who affect double-barreled names, such as Millpool or Duck Pond. Pond is probably the commonest surname of all, but everyone agreed that Henry's gift for poetry was most uncommon. Everyone croaked whenever Henry's name was mentioned. They never missed a chance to mention it at the top of their voices in front of such lesser creatures as frogs and newts. Two toads might be sitting side by side, saying nothing, staring vacantly out of their bulgy golden eyes, when a frog would chance to hop past. Right away, the two toads would start a loud conversation between themselves.
"Forgot to tell you," one might say. "Met Henry Pond the poet yesterday." "Not Henry Pond the poet?"
the other would ask.
"Yes. What a talented toad, eh?" "Indeed he is. Sure to win first pride at the Ice Toad Fod," the first toad would boast. "Makes you proud to be one of us, what?"
And then the frog would say in a tone of amazement, "A poet? A toad that makes up poems?" And the toads would reply,
"Hop it, frog face. We weren't croaking to you."
And then they would sit in happy silence again, waiting for another passer-by and another chance to sing the praises of Henry Pond the poet. Chapter 2. Henry. Even as a tiny tadpole, Henry's talents had been clear. His very first poem showed this. It went, "Oh, how I long and long for legs, first two and later more, for it is sure as eggs is eggs, I'll finish up with 4. And I shall give 3 rousing cheers to see my tail grow shorter, till totally it disappears, and I can leave the water." Henry would recite this poem to all his thousands of fellow tadpoles, or toadpoles, as he called them in his poetic way, as they swam about the pond together. But ducks, newts, fish, and water beetles all gobbled up the little toadpoles, and day by day fewer and fewer toadpoles of the pond family were left to listen to the poem. At the 2-legged stage, there were hundreds to hear it. At the 4-legged stage, dozens only. By the time their tails disappeared and they were ready to emerge from the water as toadlets, only a handful remained to hear the latest work of Henry Pond the poet. "Remember now, our friends of yore, that vanished down the fish's maw, or in the water beetle's jaw, or duck's webbed paw, or newt's sharp claw. Though they have passed through death's dark door, they are not lost, but gone before." The survivors thought this a very beautiful poem, and a sly tear dropped from many a golden eye. Before long, however, many a golden eye closed, never to reopen. This was because its owner had not listened carefully enough to the next poem by Henry Pond the poet. "Now never speak to strangers, a crow, a snake, a rat, for life is full of dangers, and cows will squash you flat. And flatly you'll be sorry if you should cross the road. It doesn't take a lorry to pulverize a toad." Chapter 3. Fame. Not all of Henry's poems were gloomy. As he grew to Toad's estate and put away tadpolish things, he began to explore the pleasures of grown-up life, and a good deal of his poetry.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?